Hey, what's up, everybody? So I want to make this super important video for mostly newer cyclists or people who are trying to level up because I had an athlete who was trying to convince himself to go to a group ride and he was really nervous about getting dropped. And so I'm going to insert here right now what I had voice message back to him, and I'll play this for you. Dude, you are a newbie. You might be the slowest, and don't be entitled. Then you go back and you get a little bit faster and you get a little bit faster. No one cares who's the slowest. Honestly, you really need to go do this. It's part of growing as a cyclist, because if you don't, that's a game plan, right? Like, you're at suck mode now and you want to go way, 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 way beyond it. So get out the comfort zone, be a little vulnerable, be okay with not being the best. And it's hard you're crushing in a lot of other aspects of life. Don't expect to always crush it on the bike. That's why you're training. Let's get better. Go to the group ride. Have a blast. Learn some shit. Go. And then come back, and I want to talk about how it went. So this is really important because most athletes, especially in the US, find endurance sports or cycling later in life. So you're already used to crushing your job. You might have a family, kid, you're super successful, and then you pick up this hobby and you go and you're not that good. And getting your ass kicked kind of sucks when you're used to winning. This is all part of it. And you need to go and do this if you want to get better. And this athlete that I'm specifically talking about wants to do some racing. And I told him, you got to go do a group ride. You need to go and ride around other cyclists, because there's a big difference between reacting to when other people are attacking and things going on and you just going and cranking out intervals. And the thing that can be deceiving when you first start is you are getting stronger. If you're new and you're just riding, you're going to get better. But also when you're going out and doing specific intervals, 4, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever they are, whatever zone you're working, that is much different when you're like, okay, here I go. And you start your timer and you go crush, as opposed to trying to crush around other cyclists who are trying to crush you. So this guy made it an hour actually in the group ride, which he doesn't realize, but that's a huge win in my book for your first group ride, because I remember my first group ride, I did not last an hour. And I know many people who get dropped instantly. So he had just texted me, ooh, F that, I suck. And I said, hey, man, give me some more details. What exactly happened? And he was like, man, I'm crushed. I'm really down on that ride. I'm down on myself and just cycling in general. So you need to take a step back at this point and look at the successes that you have been having in training and realize that, and use that as motivation to realize that does not mean success in a race or a group ride or an event. And while you're making progress in that one bucket, don't be mad that you're not Peter Sagan yet. And that's just the reality. You're not going to be amazing right off the bat. Now, there's one of you out there who you're just a genetic freak and you probably will be amazing right off the bat. We're very envious of you. It's amazing. I hope you put in a ton of work also, and you will be a phenomenal endurance athlete, much better than most of us. But for the rest of us who are human, use this failure. It's not failure. It's just part of the process. It's you're learning lessons. While losing feels like failure, you are making gains and understanding, okay, hey, I'm not drafting properly. Hey, I don't even really know how to draft. Hey, I don't know how to respond to attacks. I don't know how to close gaps efficiently. New riders, they see a gap, they slam on the accelerator, and then they break. If you're closing gaps so hard that you're then having to break every time, you are wasting energy. There's always going to be Joey behind you yelling, close that gap, close that. Dude, tell him to shut the hell up. Have him come close it if he's so worried about it. He should be in front of you if he's so worried about it. There's so many little things, all these nuances of riding and putting out power within a group that you're not going to get on your own. And that's why you have to go do these group rides, races, etc. As a coach, I told him, I would tell you if you were sucking, if you weren't making progress, it would still be important to go do a group ride, but I wouldn't just throw you to the wolves and be like, go get crushed, go get hammered on. That being said, it's good to be one of the worst people in the group when you start, because if you're starting off and you're one of the better riders, very soon you're going to be the best rider and you're going to be like, damn, all these people are slow. They're not going to push you and you're not going to get better. I sent him this message right before he left.
And honestly, as I think about this, it would be awesome if you were the slowest, because that means you have a group that you can grow into. Like if you're in the middle or like kind of towards the better end now, that sucks. Because in just a little while, you'll be like, shit, these people are all slow, and I'm just going to ride away from them. So hopefully they drop you. That would actually, in the big picture of things, be really good. I never thought about that. Go get dropped. Let's go.
And so, you know what I'm saying is that you want to have people that are going to push you. If your group ride, if your hard ride is not a ride where you can get dropped, it's not hard enough. And you might be saying, well, hey, I live in a smaller area. There's not a ton of cyclists. You need to do some intervals before you go to the group ride. You need to ride to the group ride. You need to do whatever it is so that you get there and you're like, damn, I definitely cannot just crush people. Also, the people that you're riding around in the group, they should want to be trying to help you, to bring you up, to get you to become a better cyclist. One thing somebody once said, I think it's a great, I don't even know what you'd call it, not a paradigm, but a great sort of framework to look at life is try to spend a third of your time with people who are way better than you, who you can learn from, who you're trying to get to their level. Spend a third of your time knocking around with your cronies, with your peers, with people at the same level, and you're trying to help each other and you're all trying to level up. And then also don't forget, there are people who are new at whatever you're starting, your job, your sport, just life things that you can reach down and bring them up to your level. You want to be bringing up more people to where you're at so that they challenge you to get better. I think we all want to continue to see improvement no matter where we are at in the stage of the game. And with endurance sports, especially if you are not willing to be a little vulnerable and be at the bottom of the totem pole, especially when you might be finding this later in life where you're already used to being at the top of the totem pole, you're just not going to find much fun or success in it. So don't be down if you go and get dropped. We all start by getting dropped. We all suck in the group scenario, but you don't suck when you're improving. Like this guy, zoom out. He'd been setting PRs like every other week. He's new, but he just keeps getting a little bit better. He figures out how to do intervals. He mentally knows how to turn the screw more properly. You go back, you get a little farther. You go back, you get a little farther. You figure out all these little things, and then you don't get dropped. And then maybe you come in 14th, then maybe 9th, then maybe 10th, then maybe 9th, 7th. All of a sudden, you might be winning these group rides. All these little things come into play. So if you want it all right now, this is not for you. And I'm not trying to be hard. Oh, this guy is so tough. It's just how it is, right? I mean, I remember upgrading from 5 to 4 and then getting dropped immediately again. I was like, whoa, these people are more serious. And then you go to 3 and the same thing happens. And then 2 and 1 is a totally different ball game. But you just need to be patient and understand your process and follow it. So don't have negative feelings towards yourself. Don't be upset like you're just going to leave and go home. Use that feeling of frustration to motivate you to get better. I promise you, you will definitely get better. You probably already know that, but you will surprise yourself with how good you become. And always compare yourself to your previous self. That should be your litmus test. And you should be thinking, we all should be thinking, I don't mean to be speaking at you, but I'm saying from my own experience, you're thinking, wow, that was extremely hard. I can't wait to be that fast. And you'll get there. You just got to keep chipping away. So with that, wish you luck with your training and go to the next hard event, go to the next group ride, attack at the next group ride, do things that make you a little scared to do it. And you'll be super pumped when you end up crushing it. Good luck.